All right, before I make this quick announcement, I think I've said it before in one of my first videos or live streams rather, but I'm not the most comfortable, natural speaker. My live streams have kind of been an effort, kind of a force to push my comfort zone as I see the importance of kind of just getting out there and, actually voicing, the importance of these tools as I'm on a journey here to keep improving. So that's kind of been the main precipice of this channel, and it's not the most natural thing, but there's a distinction worth making up front here in this announcement. There's that, and then there's my passion, which is actually storytelling. I've been making home videos, home movies, short films since a kid. I won't go into that today, but as an inaugural announcement on the channel here, I'm excited to announce my effort kind of in the midst of a film competition I'm really pumped about. It's due time I kind of share, like this is a life goal of mine, real bucket list thing. In my eyes, this is all a regret minimization game, in my view. So making the kid version of myself happy, proud of the follow through, what I want to do, super important. And so at the time of filming this, with the tools, the ones, similar to what we highlight on the channel, I can check this bucket list item off, which is making my trilogy, telling this story that I have without allocating a large portion of my income for a number of years in order to accomplish it, and actually do it well enough to kind of satisfy myself and what I think the quality needs to be. It's all possible due to these tools that are advancing. It's kind of how I started, dabbling in the tools to begin with. So what is this trilogy? What is this competition? It's basically, working title is the Year of LEOM, or LEOM, and it's been in the channel description for quite a while as someday goal LEOM. And this story is about essentially a feel-good future, complete with jetpacks, sport, abundant resources, solving a lot of societal issues, but it has tough questions, cool architecture, technology, all that. But the main theme is like intentional movement and stillness. So I'm really excited to kind of talk about this film project as a proof of concept, as I'm getting the ball rolling, as I'm seeing, making this as possible, and why wait till tomorrow? We can do it today. So what's this contest then? I'm really pumped for it because it's got some cool partners on it. It's by this group XPRIZE. You might have heard of them. The quick version is, it's a global competition asking storytellers to show a future worth building. And, I've been carrying a script just like this. It's kind of eerie how like close, this like optimistic kind of film competition is about the future. And that's my jam, like sci-fi, fantasy, like, being optimistic. It wasn't always optimistic. This story, I've had it since middle school, high school, dreams about it. And then, it's grown up as I've grown up. At one point it was a little more pessimistic. Look how smart I am. But, we need positive stories in circulation. There's so many cautionary tales out there, and I love those movies, and they have their place. But that's not mine. That's not my project. The next 21 days, essentially, I'm making it. I'm making this, 2 to 3 minute trailer, sizzle reel of sorts for this competition, but it's drawing heavily from the script that I have. Again, it's called the Year of LEOM, and that's going to be, my Future Vision XPRIZE is the name of the competition, and this 21 days I'm going to be filming as a series to A, hold myself accountable, and, B, just, share what this process looks like. Because this is not, I say that this has been in the process for a long time, but that's the story element. This is something that's been personal to me and way precedes my adoption of the tools and the technology that makes the actual backgrounds and whatnot possible. So you'll see in this series how it kind of progresses and what really, the story details are and stuff. But it's culminating a lot of like elements that, get me fired up. I had a Latin class in 2nd and 3rd grade, and that understanding of, you know, that seed planet of Greek mythology, like really, I've noticed like has, propelled a lot of this. Modern day comic book movies are like that I've drawn to, and just the comics in general. Things like drama and operas and all these things throughout the years, every sci-fi book, fantasy world that you can think of. I'm a Dungeons and Dragons guy. I read the books. I'm into that. But a core element of the theme is intentional movement. That's also kind of drawn from my past as an athlete, and kind of dirt bike culture and kind of some of my other interests. Got a lot of cool culture, Chinese, Japanese, Latin, African, Middle Eastern, the West. It's big. It's big topics. It's combining a lot, but it's a fun ride. It's a super fun ride, and it's a PG type thing, which I'm proud of, because I got it down from probably an R thing or a PG-13. Now it's PG, which is where we're gonna keep it. So yeah, more details to follow. Stick around on the channel. 2 words though: optimistic tomorrow. It's a monster of a shoot. This is not just gonna be a AI, output. This is gonna be a 2-day shoot, on an actual like green screen, and getting real performance capture of actors, of performers, including stunt rigging, some fairly technical things, IRL, and just compositing that onto these backgrounds, these backdrops that obviously wouldn't be possible. So expensive, the VFX stuff, to actually man that and hire that. So it's approachable now, but real performances, live capture, actual stunt rigging. AI is not there on replacing people quite yet. It feels weird, and honestly, I don't want it to get to that point. You got to know the limitations. AI earns its place, all day long in the background. What would George Lucas, what would Gene Roddenberry do if they had these tools? They're using it. I'm staying independent as long as I can, because some of the industry stuff and the non-willingness to adopt, I mean, I think it's silly. It's basically democratizing tools that I could have made this movie when I was a kid. The next kids, like, they're going to be able to make these things and tell stories, and pursue their passions, and I think that's an important thing. So basically, here's what it's kind of going to look like. Week 1, going to lock everything, story, shot plan. Like I said, it's drawing from the actual script and screenplays, but it is kind of distilled into 2-3 minute, and to fit the shape of a 2-day shoot, which is a beast, and requires, in this process, you'll see me go through and talk with DPs and cinematographer, and all these grips, gaffs and whatnot. And I don't come from that, so could be a cool thing to follow along on. But that's week 1, is getting all that dialed in. Week 2 is gonna be we actually shoot this. Super exciting, on an actual stage, gonna be awesome. And then week 3, finish it. In 1 week, I think we can actually put all this together, and once have the footage. And it's going to be a challenge. I mean, 7 days, but I've allocated time to this. As an entrepreneur, this is something I'm locked into, so I'm pumped about it. it's a little intimidating. Can it get done? But it does have a deadline, and there's a deadline and then there's the deadline I'm setting for myself, which is a week prior. So yeah, essentially, if you want to follow along on this kind of 3-week journey series, it should be cool. And yeah, I'm very excited that this competition has come about. I found this competition through a podcast I've been listening to for quite a while, and at the end of the day, this channel is to share resources and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and include some other podcasts too, in addition to, it's called the Moonshots podcast with Peter Diamandis. And I get great value from it, and it's quite awesome. And I'm listening and I hear about this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is wild, this competition. Gunning for it, hopefully learn a lot. On September 25th is the actual culmination of this one-day event in LA, and signed up for that, going with my pops, and it's going to be a hell of a time. If I'm posting this to YouTube, so I imagine other people competing are going to be keeping their finger on the pulse. So reach out, sound off. You got my information. Would love to connect and whatnot, especially if you're going on the 25th to LA. So outside of that, just very excited. And yeah, there's probably already more days on the thing. So go check it out now. Leave any feedback. Love to hear from any and everybody. All the best.